Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard.
Hello and welcome to Here Comes the Boom, Ready or Not. How you like me now? I said, here comes the lame, ready or not. I'm still working on the intro. I don't know. Here comes the lame, everybody. It's myself, PK with the Boulevard Bullies, and Jedi Joe, Phillies hat wearing insurgent.
Post Eagles W.
2-0.
2-0.
Hey,
looking good. It's looking all right, but I won't say it's looking great.
More and more, this show is turning from wrestling to sports gambling, and we'll get to that in a second. But first, I want to apologize to you, Joe, and I want to apologize to all the viewers at home. I had a brain-splitting migraine. I slept through the Eagles game, which, by the way, before my head was killing me and I was asleep by 7 o'clock, I put down a nice little parlay. Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown. DJ Hawkinson, anytime touchdown, and the over of 52.5 points. And we hit it. Woo!
Isn't that the best when you set up a bet and then like fall asleep or go to bed and wake up to a win? You wake up to money. You didn't do anything. You made money sleeping.
Big money. Eagles Thursday night parlay. Woo!
Yeah, I had to work on the fly because my bets were pretty cooked by like the third, fourth quarter, so I had to do some live betting. But
you were chasing it. You were chasing it.
Yeah. Well, they were all bonus bets from the Sunday, and there were like a lot of like $10 bonus bets, and then bonus bets also from MLB, and then a little bit of my cash on top of that.
Hey.
So, but I ended up breaking even. So.
We broke even. We won. We broke even. My fantasy football team is looking great. I actually had Jalen Hurts and TJ Hawkinson, so they split a 50-piece. Breaking news, The Rock is on SmackDown right now. Did you know that The Rock was on the Pat McAfee show today and said that him and Roman were locked in, quote-unquote, for WrestleMania 39? I don't know anything after that.
Yeah, I just saw some screenshot where someone had said that. But yeah, keep us updated on what he's doing in chat and stuff. So, wait, it said McAfee was also supposed to be on SmackDown?
Well, McAfee, I guess they're all in the same town because College Game Day is in Colorado with Deion Sanders. And
that whole deal.
SmackDown is in Colorado with Deion Sanders. TKO presents WWE presents SmackDown. And I guess
have ramifications to Mania, or it's Rock, Pat McAfee, and Austin Theory. Oh, they got to get Theory over, bro. They have to.
I feel like they're probably just shitting on him. Him and The Rock and Pat McAfee are just taking turns shitting on Austin Theory. Pat McAfee, great personality back in the WWE. You love to see him.
Yeah, he's funny.
Logan Stein, I also want to apologize not just for missing last night's show and having to postpone until tonight, but I also apologize for watching absolutely no wrestling this week. Zero wrestling. Is somebody getting beat up? Is somebody getting fired? Did Eddie Kingston thumb somebody's eye out backstage? If they didn't, I don't even care.
I watched it and I don't even know. Well, I took some notes, so YOLO.
What was the big headline that I saw besides The Rock emerging and saying that him and Roman were supposed to have a match? Jade Cargill is leaving. She's gone from AEW. Gone.
Well, she apparently has one match left. She came back last week, and then they had her announced for a rematch with Chris Statlander, and then now it's all rumor mill is saying that she's WWE bound. So
Chris Zoolander.
Yeah, and I got into an argument with some marks.
Oh boy.
Saying that it's good business. She's WWE bound. She's gonna give Statlander the rub. Like, Chris Statlander has like 10 years of experience, and she's been doing this way longer. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, she's also been wrestling for 6 to 8 months. But like, it's based off popularity. It's not based off of how long they've been in the business. And I'm like, all right. And I got into this whole argument about like, what is a rub? Who gives the more popular wrestler gives the rub? Like, what do you think about that? How do you think that works in the definition of the actual word, I guess?
Well, she's only given the rub because she's leaving. I'm sure if she wasn't leaving, she would just win. Then it would be a reverse rub.
Well, I mean, she's going to have a rude awakening if she goes to the E. I mean, she's going to have to take some losses there. She's not going to be just undefeated.
Well, she'll go to the E and they'll put her in NXT and she'll learn some of the traits and learn some of the things. Apparently,
learn
Ricky
to fucking
Starks.
lose? She has to learn to lose.
Ricky Starks, ever since he was carrying Cody Rhodes' groceries at the Royal Rumble, he is now apparently a hot target of the WWE as well. Cody's backstage poking him, telling him, hey, get my guys over here.
Yeah, I mean, he was already, he's already been backstage meeting people. So when was that, Royal Rumble? When he was there, when they saw the camera shot?
With the groceries? Yeah.
Was that groceries? Is that what you're referring
to? It was
to?
Groceries. I think it was some Fresh Direct. Like Ricky Starks met the guy at the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fresh Direct. Sushi. So what, they got to go home and cook it after the show?
No, they have a whole kitchen for Cody Rhodes in his locker room. He loves to cook.
You're making this up.
No. He loves to cook. It helps calm him.
Did you see that they announced Royal Rumble this week?
Yeah, where is it? Tampa,
Florida.
Outdoor arena?
I already booked my flight.
Spirit Airlines.
No, Tropicana Field, where the Devil Rays play. It's the Dome.
Ow, that's lame.
It's actually a little known fact. I don't know if this is still true about Tropicana Field, but it was the most cases of foodborne illness of any ballpark in the MLB.
Well, that's because they have those Devil Ray sandwiches,
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, the Steve Irwin, they call it.
Oh, get the...
Yeah, it's the Steve Irwin, and it's just chopped, char-grilled, stingray with whiz.
No.
Yeah, on an artisan bun.
No, not a thing. But
Speaking of foodborne illness, is William Regal alive? I heard that he also had a Devil Ray sandwich in India, though.
Yeah, apparently everyone got sick on the Superstar Spectacle show or on the India trip. So Regal has some sort of heart parasite now from, I guess, drinking the water or eating some street food or I don't know.
He breathed in.
I watch a lot of on my algorithm. There's a lot of Indian street food videos.
Okay.
And they're literally just
and it's just all stuff. William Regal.
No, it's just yeah. I mean, I would get sick. I get sick kind of from watching these. It's just stuff in a pot and they just throw it in and sprinkle some shit barehanded on it, and that's kind of it, So no wonder some people get sick, but apparently it's just the norm there. Apparently, I mean, it probably isn't awesome because Americans can easily get sick from it. Apparently,
huh?
Yeah.
Well, hey,
you did say Robin Quivers turned right around.
She turned right around. Robin Quivers got off the plane, turned right around.
Yeah, fuck this, I'm out.
So, Joe, I feel
what happened with Riddle, though?
Oh, I have no idea.
When he got back from India, he was already all bottled up, and somebody was saying that he got groped by a security guard or whatever like that.
Oh. Is it unfair for me to start suggesting that Matt Riddle might be a little problematic?
I mean, there are problematic people. That doesn't mean they're not, I mean, CM Punk was problematic. But I guess if you have any problems, doesn't matter how valuable you are, or how much money you make in a company, they're going to cut ties, right? I mean, I got rid of CM Punk, and he was their best merch mover and their biggest draw.
Yeah,
but they're also idiots.
I don't know. I just feel like Matt Riddle posting the photo, taking the photo of the cop and posting it on his Instagram. It's that's
I
like
didn't
a little
see that.
Jerry Springer-ish. She's like, "This is the guy. This is the
asshole,"
guy,
or something like that. I don't know what the tweet said.
Yeah, and so apparently, I guess I don't know. I don't even know what happened. Do you know what happened?
I just listened to what Cornette said about it, but yeah, it was apparently some sort of I don't know. some sort of sexual harassment happened. So
He got groped.
yeah, maybe I think they got a little too frisky when they frisked him down. Maybe like when they go through.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how he doesn't have TSA pre-check. This is at JFK, so he's like, never will go back ever again.
He's
And
never going to
Cornette's
use
maybe,
JFK Airport again.
he's like, Cornette's like, maybe they'll send him through Newark next time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So I'm fixing my focus. I'm out of focus.
So he was flirting with a cop at JFK, and it got a little too hot and
That
heavy.
might have been it too. Hey, bro, watch my package, bro.
He was wearing the shorts and the flip flops.
Yeah. Well, he probably sticks out like a sore thumb or a sore finger. There we go.
Apparently, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was definitely weird the way that, yeah, I don't know. Like if you were a real professional athlete and not like a, I don't know, house guest on Big Brother. You know, if you were like a professional and something happened that was inappropriate at an airport, would you just blow up your own Instagram looking crazy? Or would you, you know, maybe go through the proper channels, you know, talk to whoever you need to talk to and something. But yeah, there was just post after post. It was almost like Masada stole Matt Riddle's Instagram and started posting.
Yeah,
it was like a little,
I don't know.
It was a little wacky.
Maybe he's doing different drugs now besides this, 420. Who knows?
I think that's a distinct possibility. He might be doing different drugs. Is this what happens when they don't do drugs?
Yeah. You see, Kairi Zane's coming back.
She's coming back to WWE. That was reported a little while ago.
Yeah, but she's like officially like her last Stardom date is the 9th. So
Kairi Zane versus Jade Cargill. Let's go.
She's probably pretty pissed that like Nia Jax just came back and she probably inked the contract and like the very next day Nia Jax comes back and now she's like, oh shit, I'm about to go back and get shoot injured again.
Right, because Nia Jax kept accidentally hurting Kairi Zane.
And I think that's part of the reason why she left, was she didn't have to deal with people like that. And now she's back. and now
I'm
they
not
keep
like
bringing
most girls.
I injure most girls.
She bonsai dropped the fuck out of Rhea Ripley. I saw that.
Yeah. Bonsai. Yeah.
She's like, oh, shoot, I should have been using this move the whole time.
Yeah. Wait, she never used to do that?
I don't know.
I don't know, maybe. It's a good heel move. I don't know what's wrong with my camera right now.
It's the Phillies hat, I think.
Is it? No, there's
No,
just so much
It is.
stuff.
It is. So I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. I did it. I caved in. My boy Dave the sound guy bought it for me on Steam because we miss each other and he loves me and I love him. And it only melted my computer about 3 or 4 times, Joe. But besides that, pretty good. Pretty good.
Are you playing with a person in co-op?
No, I'm just playing with myself and my companions. So you meet and manage many companions. So you basically have like a team of 4. It's yourself and 3 companions. And
if you find people online, they can replace your companions.
Right. But I have no desire to do that, especially with a melting computer. I mean, I have to blow the fan on it as it is.
Yeah. You need one of those big turbine fans, like big boys.
Just strap myself and my computer in and just like put goggles on and have a huge fan blowing on me.
Yeah. That works.
That's basically the sound that you just made is the sound that my computer makes when it tries to run the game, actually.
So wait, it's not on console?
It's only on PS5, and I'm a PS4, or as I like to call it, a PS poor.
Yeah. PS4, yeah.
Yeah, I only have PS poor.
What yeah, I haven't I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. I went and I started going through my backlog and I was playing Subnautica.
Oh, all right. Do you love
Have you
it?
played Subnautica?
No, but I've watched videos on it, and I've seen enough of it to know what it is.
I mean, you've played survival games and stuff on your channel before, so like it's basically the same thing. You're just trying to survive in a giant ocean planet.
See, the ocean scares me. Being underwater and going into the
God,
deep
it's
ocean.
terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
Like you'll just go like a few meters out and it starts to get dark and it's just like like these weird sounds and
Not
then
for
this
me.
giant floaty thing is like it's like and tentacles and like weird. It's definitely, people call it a horror game to an extent because it does get pretty spooky.
Yeah, you dive deep in the ocean, it gets super spooky. The angler fish.
Yeah, but it's all made up alien fish.
So it's like a huge anglerfish the size of your boat.
Yeah, need a bigger boat.
I don't like that. I don't like underwater adventures.
I just went all the way out, and then the computer told me, he's like, you're entering a danger zone with Leviathan class creatures or species, and I'm like, all right, whatever. And then some giant serpent claw mouth giant behemoth ate me.
Nice. It sounds like a great experience.
I just like survival, the survival aspect of it, you know.
Yeah,
So,
I like collecting the resources and
that shit. Yeah,
churning them into other things that make other things, and
that's a blast. Which one did you play? The Raft or something?
no, the Raft looks dope. I played a much more ghetto version of that, Stranded Deep, which was janky as hell.
Yeah, that one looked kind of jank, but still, like, that's part of the experience, though.
Yeah, it was like all made on a Skyrim mod or something.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I just made that up. But you can believe it based on seeing me play the game.
Mm.
By the way, the kitchen guys at my job call me Chuck Norris.
What? Why?
Because I guess I'm the only white guy with a red beard they've ever seen who's not named Chuck Norris.
Latin guys?
Yeah, they're like Ecuadorian, Mexican dudes, like kitchen guys.
Yeah.
Oh, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, Chuck Norris.
So today when I went downstairs, the guy's like prepping downstairs. I guess he's like the nighttime chef, so he preps and then he cooks. And he goes, "Oh, Chuck Norris." I threw a little karate kick at him. I was like, "Ha! Yeah." You got a big
having
kick
fun at work.
Yeah, you got a big kick out of it. Kitchen guys are the best. You know how it is to be called Chuck Norris and whatnot. Gringo, loco,
Yeah, yeah. I used to get called all sorts of names that I can't even say here. So
Well, that's because you're a mean chef. You're a cranky chef.
yeah. Well, I kind of have to because I was in a management role for the last like 5 to 6 to 8 years.
So you were the cranky one.
I didn't have to be cranky. I just had to be kind of bossy sometimes. But I tried to be in the perfect medium, like bossy but cool and chill.
Oh, there's nothing worse than somebody who's bossy but also cool and chill.
Yeah.
Raft is amazing. Raft is well worth the money, says Logan Stein. Shout out Logan. Shout out Bren, Urka, Brian, whoever else I missed. We love you. Thank you for watching.
Did you see the so what are they laying people off in the E right now? What are they
Well, apparently there was a big internal message, and today, Friday the 15th, they told everybody don't come in. It's literally some Succession shit. Joe, have you watched Succession?
My girl watches it, so I've seen a little bit.
So there is a part in Succession where they need somebody to like lay off 1 million people. So one of the comic relief characters, Greg, he just realizes that he has a skill for firing dozens of people at a time because he has no feelings inside of him. So he gets on a Zoom call. He Zooms with like 25 people, and he goes, "Oh, and he reads off a piece of paper, and basically everybody gets fired." So he's doing
the guy who always like weird says like weird references to like cock and balls and like stuff like that.
No, that's Macaulay Culkin's brother's character. Who
he does look.
He always makes the penis humors. But this guy Greg's awesome. It's a great character. It's a great show. Highly recommended. But basically, he just goes from room to room in like the one floor of the office, and each room has a conference table and a laptop, and he basically opens up the Zoom, fires everybody, moves on to the next room. And that's basically what WWE is positioning to do. They told everybody in the company, stay home and wait for our Zoom call to fire you.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it's like, don't even come into the office because it's like, it's going to be a bad vibe because, HR is going to handle it. We're trimming the fat, huge layoffs abound. And we don't even want to have a situation where you're getting called into the HR firing office in front of your peers over the course of the day. So everybody stays home and just waits for a Zoom call today. That's the way it worked.
You imagine these people just sitting at a desk like we are right now. Is there like and then isn't there a sound effect where they're waiting for like the sound effect of like the call?
Bloop, bloop. But severance pay. I mean, come on, it's not that bad,
How do we know they give severance? I assume in a big company like that.
It was in the thing. It said that they're going to contact you to discuss your severance.
So with TKO, TKO is the company that took it, or that's what they're calling it now?
That is what they are calling the two companies combined.
Merge. The merger.
It was Endeavor, which owned UFC, and I guess Endeavor conjoined. Now, maybe TKO is another company under Endeavor that includes UFC and WWE. I'm not sure, but they opened up the stock market the other day.
All right, so that was what I was about to get into. Have you seen these pictures of Vince wearing a do-rag on Wall Street?
No, it was photoshopped. I wish. It was a good Photoshop, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good because it was purple and matched his suit.
Yeah. No, he was like, I'll put it on just for the photos. Mustache Vince, now announced as the chief executive officer of the board of directors or whatever the hell.
And Hunter isn't. He's only creative.
Right. He's remaining in his day-to-day role, but he no longer has a seat on the board, I believe.
But he's the head of creative, at least.
Right. And the board is made up of like a few different notable people who I can't remember at this time. It's something weird. It's like the guy who owns a cheese thing and the guy who invented, I don't know.
Electricity.
Yeah, the slap chop or whatever. I don't know. It's a few weird
chop
people.
Cheese.
Yeah,
the guy invented the chop cheese.
And it's like a sports guy, and I think, Alex Rodriguez is somehow involved. You know how it goes with all these.
This is the bald guy?
The bald guy, Dana White.
Yeah.
He's involved somehow.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan somehow also involved,
All right.
Speaking of Joe Rogan, did you see that Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles tendon?
Yeah, how could I have not? I was watching it.
Well, that's what he gets for being a 9/11 denier. He's a 9/11 it was an inside job, loose change wacko. And then
with the American flag.
And then he ran out with the American flag. Monday Night Football. Even though he's a 9/11 denier. And yeah, that's what happened.
Pompous circumstance on that Monday night game.
That's what happened. 3
or 4 snaps, he snaps his leg open.
Yeah, his fucking Achilles exploded. And apparently,
I like how they're trying to defend it with the grass, the turf, it's this and that, rubber particles in the turf.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they have been arguing about that for some time, but Aaron Rodgers.
Well, they're trying not that. Is the league trying to do AstroTurf on everything?
No, the players are trying to get grass on everything, and the owners, it's much cheaper for the owners to run turf. Yeah.
That shit hurts when you land on turf.
Yeah, well, and I think the main problem is that you like the pivoting of the legs and the planting of the cleats and then the knee exploding is like a problem.
Because there's no give. It's just like playing on.
Yeah, apparently the twisting and the turning is the problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did have Garrett Wilson anytime touchdown, so we got that. We nailed that.
That was the most fixed game. Every game I've watched this year has been just one fixed script, turnover, interception mess, and it's just how the game is now.
Did you see last night that Justin Jefferson went to push the ball, reach the ball over the goal line, but it slipped out of his hand. So it was, instead of breaking the plane, it was a fumble that went into the other team's end zone.
That was last night?
Thursday, yeah. Such fucking bullshit
I thought it was the
God.
one where he got tackled and he like hit the pylon, but they
Yeah.
ruled it not a touchdown.
Right, and it wasn't. Not only was it not a touchdown, that it was a fumble into the other team's end zone. So it was a fumble touchback.
Oh,
Yeah, ridiculous. So if you fumble on the 1 yard line, let's say the first down marker, whatever, is out like the 1, and you reach for it, and you get there and you fumble, and the ball goes out of bounds, then the ball's at the 1. But
Yeah.
because he reached for it, he fumbled, and the ball went out of bounds in the end zone, it was a turnover and automatically the other team's ball.
yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I was kind of because they were saying it was a touchback.
Yeah, it was
and
a fumble touchback.
That was a touchdown. If he had got that touchdown, I mean, a lot of people needed that touchdown on their bets. I needed it. I would have won another bet, but it's just
Well, it
the
would have
game.
kept the game close too.
Yeah, I mean, the
At
game
the
ended
time.
up being still close because that's how this game is now.
Yeah, the NFL is more
turn up
fixed
hell.
than. Well, and it's so fucked up because now they're doing ads about like the scripts. You know, they have players in ads where they're doing table reads, making fun of people who think that the NFL is fixed.
when it's clearly is.
It's like they released the Matrix movie so that nobody would think we're in the Matrix.
Yeah,
You know, same thing.
yeah.
They had
Reverse
Tom Brady.
psychology.
Tom Brady. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, we're doing that. It's like, no, you are.
Right?
Tom Brady was
Oh,
like,
and like
oh,
Tom Brady saying that he was gonna. You see this commercial with all the guys coming back and making fun of like old dudes coming back to the game,
no, I haven't.
and it's like, who would do something like that? And it's like Tom Brady. Like, who would do something like that? He's like sitting on like a pool bench, you know, a pool chair.
The
He's like,
worst
"Don't be a nice-"
commercial of all time is the Tom Brady Hertz rent a car. He's on the Wendy Williams talk show. Have you seen this?
I don't think so. Maybe.
It's just, I'm not even gonna waste my breath or the show's time explaining it, but it is so bad. It makes him look so dumb, and he is just so dumb. Future quarterback of the Jets, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Brady.
I mean, they might try to get Kirk Cousins, but who knows?
Oh, well, the whole point of me bringing that up is that Aaron Rodgers is going to be using Joe Rogan witch doctor medicine to try to get back from an Achilles at superhuman speed.
Did you ever get around to watching Heels?
No, I haven't. You've been talking about it.
It's been good. It's been good. It has better storytelling than anything I've seen on television probably in the last like 10 years.
Oh, you mean
Oh,
like
excuse me.
wrestling television?
Any live wrestling programming. Yeah, it's not better than Game of Thrones and yeah. Some of these other shows.
So
But,
what episode of Heels are you on? You're in season 2.
I didn't see today's and I didn't see last week's. So I'm still actually behind by 2. But they're doing like the Sting thing, which is pretty cool. They literally cover everything that is in wrestling. Like just everything. Like they're doing like cross promotion stuff and like them dealing with like, oh, bring that guy in here and then we're gonna like whip his ass in my fed. Oh, if you do, it's gonna make a character look like shit and da 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 da. And then they did like, so in the cross promotion, like someone jumped ship and stuff like that. Like it's a whole big swerve. Like, you know, maybe I've seen that stuff like personally live with like ROH and CZW. So that was pretty cool. And it's cool when you can actually like guess what's going to happen in the show. And that's what should happen in the show. You know what I mean? Like it's like watching an actual live fed being booked.
Like
you know?
instead of in wrestling where everybody in the building knows what should happen and the exact opposite of that happens.
And it's bad. Yeah, sucks.
Like our new friend, our old friend coming back. She's not like most girls. Beep, beep,
Yeah.
boo, 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 doo, doo, doo. Yes.
Where'd she land on the PWI 500 though?
Oh, that's another thing. I think Nia Jax probably 17.
I mean, it's 500 wrestlers. Everyone's on it. Cheeseburger and everybody and Alley Cat. I mean, shit. I could get on that shit.
I think Superhuman was on it this year, 498.
So who the hell's 499 and 500?
Well, now I'm going to look it up.
It's the Superhuman TV show.
PWI
Oh,
500 2023.
what's going on? Or like, what did he say? Superhuman TV show. It's about juggalos and jiggalettes. Don't try this at home and whoop whoop.
I'm going right down to 500, Joe.
Whoop whoop. We'd always do like I'm recreating a Jeff Hardy Swanton bomb onto a refrigerator with barbed wire. Don't try this at home.
Yo, dude.
It's 500.
500, I don't know. Andre Chase, do you know that person?
No. I don't know anybody anymore. I don't go to any shows.
But I'm laughing because 495 is Stan Styles. Do you know who Stan Styles is?
No.
I got to look it up before I don't want to give you false information. Yeah. I am correct. Stan Styles, you've definitely seen him at the H2O Center or at a JCW or something. He's the wrestler who comes out with the shake weight.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
I think I've maybe seen that.
Stan, you made it, dude. Wait a second. Last year he was $4.99.
Oh, moving up.
So he shaked his way up. 476 VSK, 474 Colt Cabana, Ken Broadway 495. I'm just reading names that I see. 453 Danhausen, Cheeseburger. You nailed it, Joe. 451. Tommy Vendetta, winner of a thing that happened.
Who's in the top 10 though?
Little Mean Kathleen 444, and Danny DeManto 420. By the way, higher than Sonny Kiss. Facade, Dirty Dango. All right, you want to hear the top 10?
Yeah.
Number 10, Adrenaline in My Soul.
At 10?
Yeah, last year he was number 6. Something Cody Rhodes is number 10.
Damn.
I think because he probably failed to win that championship title. Number 9, representing Canada, Josh Alexander.
Really?
Yes, really. I'm being completely serious now. Number 8, last year, ranked 114.
Oh, my God.
Jumping all the way to number 8. I'm going to give you a hint, Joe. He is on AEW television. Do you care to field a guess?
Kind of generic. Need a better hint.
What's a better hint? No, I mean, just think about a wrestler.
Was CM Punk 140 something last year?
No. What's another hint? He's been wrestling a lot lately.
I don't know.
Tony Khan is very, very pleased by this, and when he
oh
reads
my
this,
God, Orange Cassidy.
Yes, yes.
Holy shit.
So to see that Orange jumped from 114 to number 8, I feel like Tony's gonna read this and be like, "Aha! I told you, it's working. It's working. I did it." Number 7, Kazuchika Okata. Last year, number 2, by the way.
And they're really shaking up the list this year.
Yeah, number 6, MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who last year was at number 16.
Okay.
Now, here's one that I don't get. Number 5, last year, number 8. So, back-to-back years, top 10. El Hijo del Vikingo.
Okay.
So, my question to you, Joe, is...
Botching. That's the guy who botches all the time, right?
I mean, I don't know if he botches all the time. My question to you was going to be simply, why? He
Yeah,
does the 630 thing. He does the Taco
does
Bell
like
Jones.
springboards, like middle
Yeah.
rope springboards and all the weird flip stuff. Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. And then he's always like having to sit on the rope for like 10, 20 seconds, setting up the move, killing all the heat, and then botches the move anyway. Like,
All right, so number 4, and much like Orange Cassidy, this person was pretty close, hovering around 100 last year, and now they are number 4. They are not from AEW. They are in WWE. Joe, do you care to guess who made the biggest jump between last year and this year in
Sami
WWE?
Zayn.
No. Wrong. Let me see where Sami is. Sami Zayn is number 22. Last year he was 84. So think harder. Big year. Big year.
Roman Reigns?
Making history. Well, Roman Reigns is in the top 3, so this is number 4.
Oh,
And Roman Reigns was number 1 last year as well.
okay.
So who made the biggest jump
in the E?
forward? Yeah, in the E. Think about breaking records.
Gunther?
Yeah, Gunther.
All right. Nice guy. Met him.
Yeah, I met Gunther too back when he was fat, and he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
So top 3. 3, 2, 1. The Shield. Mox, Roman, Seth. Boom, just like that. Seth Rollins, number 1. How do you feel about
Interesting.
that?
I mean, Roman being up there is fine. I guess Seth should be in the top 5, but like, I don't know. Is it just me? Where's CM Punk on this fucking list?
That's a good question.
I wouldn't even have Moxley on this list. I put him below Cheeseburger, to be honest with you.
Matt Cardona, last year 13, this year 31.
Oh, he's probably pissed off. He takes that shit real seriously.
I am not seeing CM Punk.
Because he was injured?
Number 81, Cruel.
Cruel is the wrestler's name?
Cruel is 81 and Dominic Mysterio is 94. What kind of fucking world?
Yeah.
By the way,
PWI is always like a meme list, but it's always funny to look at it like that. Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio, number 4, and just trailing him by just 2 spots, Billy Starks.
Oh my God, really?
And just trailing Billy Starks at number 99, AJ Styles. So yeah, Billy Starks definitely ahead of AJ Styles.
That's what I was saying. It's a meme list.
Well, is this like a prediction for this coming year?
No, it's how they rank everyone of the past year. Right?
Yeah, I guess CM Punk didn't really wrestle this year.
They wrestle everyone for this year. It's 2023, right?
11 Sonata, 12 Claudio, 13 Carmelo Hayes, 14 Samoa Joe, 15 Masha Slamovich, right ahead of Bryan Danielson, regarded by many as the greatest living professional wrestler on the planet. But hey, Masha's right ahead of him. Will Ospreay, yeah, right. Alexander Hammerstone, Bobby Lashley, Trey Miguel, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Jake Lee, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, 25, Drew McIntyre, 26, Takahashi, Adam Page, and the list goes on for about 475 more names that I'm not going to read to you. Wardlow, 47. Like, what did Wardlow... Who wrestled more this last year? CM Punk or Wardlow? You know?
Who knows? Maybe more on Rampage, Wardlow. But in higher profile matches, CM Punk, but then he was injured majority of it, so it's like, I don't know. I don't know what goes into
all right,
developing
time
these
for
things.
Time for some trivia questions for Joe. Who was ranked higher, LA Knight or Akira?
It's got to be Akira, because LA Knight didn't really get moving until like a few months ago.
All right, well, who's ranked higher? You are correct. Who's ranked higher, LA Knight or Matt Tremont?
I'll say Matt Tremont because he's probably more active.
Nope, LA Knight just beat him out. I had to switch it up. I had to flip-flop because I don't want
Yeah,
all
I
the
thought
questions.
that's what you were gonna do. I thought that also you were gonna like thought I was going to do that, so I went the other way. You know.
And you know what's crazy? Last year, Manders was 358. Now he's 163, one ahead of Matt Riddle because only one of those two guys didn't get groped at the airport.
Urka says, "Is this like what kind of is like? Is this like a what kind of bread are you quiz? Like a Facebook slideshow or like one of those like fishing skiing quizzes? Yeah, pretty much. That's how much you take it seriously. Because this list is always a meme every year. Day
yeah,
in, day
this
out.
is not a good list. You know what it is? It's like I don't care enough to actually think about compiling a correct list, but I am comfortable using my brain enough to realize that this one is bullshit. It's really stupid.
You know what else is bullshit?
Oh, tell me. I sense a transition here.
Monday Night Raw.
Woo! I was watching Monday Night Football, so you are completely in the driver's seat. I need you to be my DM, my dungeon master, just like that cop was Matt Riddle's dungeon master, and I need you to tell me the story of Monday Night Raw.
What did I actually see? I didn't watch the show. I saw Nia return.
Not like most girls.
not Raw. We covered the Matt Riddle thing, but not Raw. Becky Lynch wins the NXT title, which I could not find on my.
I saw that she beat Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, because she whatchamacallit. They were promoting that last week. She showed up on what was it, Raw? Yeah, it was on Raw, I think.
Yeah,
right?
she
Because they had
actually won.
backstage segment.
So
They had
what
a
do you
backstage
think,
segment.
what do you think that means? Do you think that means Tiffany Stratton goes to the main roster and Becky Lynch holds it down in NXT with the championship?
I mean, they already had Dom bringing it to bring it to the main show.
And he's still the champ, right?
Yes, he is. But Stratton is perfect for the main roster. I mean, they just want to bring in all the baddies, you know?
They're going to need to feed people to Jade Cargill, that's for sure.
Yeah. People of equal greenness.
I'm so excited for Jade Cargill in WWE.
But under like 2 years experience, 1 year experience, 6 months experience.
I want them to run back that Shaq tag team. I want Shaq and Jade versus Cody and Brandy. Let's do it upright this time. Let's finish the story. I want the Shaq entrance. I want the ambulance to back up and him and for Shaquille O'Neal to appear from the ambulance. You know what I'm saying, Joe? Because you know how they put Shaq into an ambulance and he was never heard from again. And so they basically in canon, he basically disappeared from AEW. And everyone goes, well, what happened when Shaq got in the magic ambulance?
Well, he turned into a rapper. Right? He's doing his whole tour now, or like EDM or something like that.
Well, he's an EDM DJ. You're thinking about Shaq Fu back in the 90s when he was a rapper.
This thing is triggering me. I'm sorry.
Shaq Fu was a very good fighting game for Sega Genesis, Joe.
But he is doing shows right now. He after the Phillies game, he did a show in Citizens Bank. So he does them after baseball games and has I don't know if he's paying, people have to pay to actually see him, but it's maybe stuff that just gets added onto a ticket.
He's just hanging around. He's just got his gear with him. And he's like, hey, I could play a set.
Yeah, and they just stick around for the Shaq show. And then it's just yeah.
I believe his name is
My
DJ
sister saw him
Shaq.
the other day.
Just walking around town?
No. She went to something, I think. Oh, no, I think she went to a minor league baseball game. And they
honored him. They honored his contribution. Seeing Shaq perform is probably fun. Seeing Shaq walk down the street is probably terrifying.
Yeah.
Hey,
what's going on? Hey, what's up, man? Remember when you hosted Monday Night? That shit was the great. I don't give. You ever see? You ever see when?
ah!
You ever see that one clip of him? I don't know when he was playing on, probably when he was on the Magic or something. But they were like, "Shaq, how do you feel about the officiating this game? Is bullshit, I tell you." And he's like, "Oh, Shaq, we're up. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn." He was like talking shit on the post game. But he's great on all the analytical boards with him and Barkley.
Oh yeah, Charles Barkley, always a favorite.
He's so funny. Him and Barkley are so funny. Barkley, not Barkley.
No, not Saquon Barkley, who scored under 10 fantasy points this week. We're not going to talk about it.
Oh yeah, Raw in a nutshell doesn't look like much happened, bro.
What's going on with the Judgment Day?
The
Judgment Day.
I mean, Rhea beat Raquel again. I guess for a second week in a row.
Way to go.
Quick results. Judgment Day, Balor and Damian defeated Owens and main event Jey Uso, non-title. So Jey is now officially on Raw. The Miz defeated Akira Tozawa.
Not to be confused with Akira, who was ahead of LA Knight in the PWI Top 500.
Akira Tozawa, what a fucking shame, this guy. Did you ever watch him when he was on the Indies and Dragon Gate USA and stuff?
I watched, maybe I saw highlights of him, but then I saw him in Cruiserweight Classic, and he was great in that, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Classic is just basically the Indies.
Right.
That's how they do it, yeah. But he was amazing in Dragon Gate. And then...
maybe he's happy. Maybe he's just well-fed.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. He's part of that crew of people of, like, Akira, Ricochet, and Uhaa Nation... What's his name there?
Freaking what's his name? O'Neal. No. I know who you're talking about. Cedric. No, not that guy.
No, not Cedric.
What the fuck is that guy's name? I see his smiling face right now in my head.
Apollo Crews.
Apollo Crews. That's what I was saying.
Those three guys, they're like all buds. And they were all in like Dragon Gate, and they're just like, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here with my friends. And they don't care that they're doing nothing, you know?
And that's the smart way to do it.
So Miz defeated him. McIntyre defeats Xavier Woods. I guess they're going with this swivel chair incident.
Yeah, the office chair throwing incident, yeah.
I am the table. Shayna Baszler defeats Chelsea Green. Whatever.
Bummer.
Chad Gable and Otis and Tommaso Ciampa defeat Imperium via submission, and Rhea Ripley defeats Raquel to retain. So 1, 2.
But that was via DQ because of I'm not like mom now.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. So 6 matches on a 3-hour show. So what was there, like an hour and a half of commercials, an hour and a half of actual show, and only probably like a half hour wrestling?
Well, and out of that half hour of wrestling, 15 to 18 minutes of that was the entrances. Did you count for the entrances?
Yeah, I didn't count for that. Have you seen these breakdowns of like weekly live programming? How much actual in-ring, like bell to bell there is?
Oh no, but I'm sure it's deplorable.
Collision was always the highest.
Right.
But I don't know. From what I hear, Collision's not. Is already taking a turn for the worse within the first week without Punk. So
well, and you know, it's such a bummer for them, and we will get to AEW on the other side of our take 5, but it's such a bummer for them because it seemed like when they launched Rampage, they wanted Rampage to have a different vibe, but now it's just like basically AEW Dark. Nobody watches it. Then they released this show on Saturday that was supposed to actually have a different vibe. They were going to do a brand split. It was going to have Joe and FTR and Punk, and they had this whole like hand-picked roster. And now that's basically not only out the window, but they are purposely seeming to dismantle that, like, to be like defiant in the memory of Punk, you know?
Yeah.
So now it's all just the
Dynamite
same thing.
Too. Literally just going to be more Dynamite now.
Right. You know, and because it's like, it can't be that CM Punk is gone, but hey, that was kind of a good idea to give 2 different shows 2 different personalities. It's just like, he's gone. His ideas were bad. This is Dynamite 2 now. And, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing.
And they just kind of like pop Bryan Danielson into like CM Punk's spot. I've noticed that's always a thing. Like Punk leaves or like gets in trouble, and Bryan Danielson's always there to take that spot.
Or
You know what I mean?
the one time it was Mox too. Mox or Bryan
Yeah.
Danielson, they basically just pop him right in.
Yeah. Interchangeable main eventers, I guess, but not quite the same.
Hey, well, John Moxley, number 3 PWI wrestler in the world. So, watch out, world.
As for wrapping up WWE stuff, yeah, everybody got sick on that India tour apparently, and then there is another pay-per-view in 2 weeks on the 30th, No Mercy in California. I don't think any matches are announced for that yet. I could be wrong.
Hey, this past Monday was 9/11's anniversary, 9/11/2001. Who was PWI's?
Opposed to what other?
What?
You
know
said
9/11.
9/11/2001, like the 2000.
Yeah, 2001 is when 9/11
2001
happened.
version opposed to another
Well, the
version?
9/11 in 2001 was the worst 9/11 that's happened since that year. You
Yes.
know, there hasn't been a worse 9/11 than the 9/11, which happened in 2001.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
So, who were the top 3 PWI 500 wrestlers in 2001? 9/11 lists. There's the 9/11
There's
PWI.
no way you don't have that list up.
I
do
have
you
it up
really?
right now, Joe.
Kurt Angle,
What? Yo, keep
Brock
going.
Lesnar. Was Kurt Angle number 1?
Yeah, Kurt Angle was number 1.
Brock?
Brock is not in top 10.
Shit. Rock?
The Rock is number 14.
Who are the other 2?
The top 3 are Kurt Angle, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Chris Benoit.
Well, that's in poor taste. So now you're
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to make a point that it's conceivable that Chris Benoit took, even though Canadian, Chris Benoit might have taken 9/11 harder than people realize. Just food for thought, you know? Kenji Moda, Booker T, Triple H, Scott Steiner, Masawa. Kenji Muda, that's what I said.
Muda. You said Moda. I was like, who?
Keiji Mudu.
So Muda, the great Muda.
Number 10, Rhino.
Oh, because it was the last year of ECW. That's why.
Yo, I mean, those final years of ECW, Rhino was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was the champ forever. Yeah.
And the network. Yeah, so
The Cyrus Network.
yeah,
Is that from ECW? Yeah, that's a whole different world. No one in WCW was 2001. Yeah, so nobody in WCW was in the top
Booker
10?
T, I guess. No, well, Booker T, maybe you could say. Scott Steiner. I don't think these guys were like over here yet.
Interesting.
Lance
they
Storm.
should be list. It's all wrestling. If ECW was in there, I'm like, why is I don't know what they were doing in 2001, but like DDP, Flair, Hogan, like what are these guys doing around?
Well,
that
yeah,
time?
number 5, Booker T. Number 7, Scott Steiner. Lance
This full
Storm.
Scott Steiner. It's like he was using that theme at the time, or was that in the E?
I don't even remember. It's weird because during the Attitude Era, you're growing up and you're thinking of all these dream matches of what would happen if WCW and WWE really fought. And then by 2001 and 2, when they were actually doing that stuff, I could care less. I really could care less at that time. That's kind of when I fell off.
That's when I think 90% of the player base, 90% of the fan base fell off once ECW and WCW went under.
Yeah, and once the way that they jobbed out Mick Foley in 2000, and then Mick Foley like went away, and then he cut his hair, and I was just like, all right, I'm done with this. I think I loved Mick Foley too much to keep caring.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I talk to people, I'm like, yeah, I follow pro wrestling, I do this and that, and they're like, oh, wow, I haven't watched that in like 20 years, 25 years, It's all Attitude Era or WCW,
That's why the world's so fucked up now, from the Attitude Era and from 9/11. This is two biggest detriments to the human psyche in my lifetime. Oh, and Twitter. It's WWE Attitude Era in this order. Attitude Era started getting us all riled up. Then, just when we think we're at the height of, no security, bringing signs to shows, spraying each other with milk trucks and beer trucks, just telling everybody to suck it, just when we were the most free. After the Attitude Era, 9/11 happened. And, man, that bummed us all out. And then we were all kind of good until Twitter. So that's the big three things that drove us crazy as a society. The Attitude Era started it. Honorable mention Jerry Springer. Attitude Era, Howard Stern.
I saw. Have you seen how these people clean the 9/11 memorial in New York?
No, I haven't.
Fountains. The fountain.
Yeah.
So like every day, like people go there, or no, every 5 days a week, people are in there, like
bathing.
You're the
cleaners. Okay, I thought you were talking about the bathers.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There's bathers that go in there?
Well, I mean, if you put a fountain in New York City, somebody's going to bathe in it.
Yeah.
So.
I figured it'd be probably security and stuff to stop that.
Right. Hey, take your ass down to Flushing Meadows Park and bathe.
Yeah. But yeah, they scrub the shit every inch of this thing every night, like overnight and stuff. And then, like they burn off all. Like, all the names are on those plaques that go around the perimeter of it.
Yeah.
They like burn clean, like they do something with a torch and burn everything. So it's all like shiny and shit.
Wow.
And like clean it up. Yeah. They do a lot of it. They do a lot of maintenance to it.
How do you know this?
This was literally a video just in the algorithm. I saw it today.
It's the algorithm.
Pretty cool.
Told you that. Yeah. Well, it was like their biggest, the people who clean that area, it was their biggest day of the year the other day. The Rock was showing up. The Rock and his daughter showed up.
Showed up tonight on SmackDown.
Yeah. Staring into that 9/11 memorial made him miss wrestling. Happens, He's like, man, in 2001, I was PWI top 13, man. I could get back to that. I could just bring it. That's what happened.
What are you doing?
That's what happened is that The Rock was standing. You see the photos. The Rock and his daughter, they were standing like looking at the thing. They had obviously
this week.
Yeah, this week on 9/11. They couldn't just go there. They had to go there and have pictures taken of there. And the thing that happened that wasn't reported, Joe, is that like The Rock, he was like standing there with his daughter, who's now a wrestler, by the way, with Joe Gacy. I'm sure she's in the PWI top 500 somewhere.
Yeah, she's probably top 50.
And, The Rock was standing there, and he was thinking about, 2001 and where he was on that day, and he was thinking about his daughter wrestling, and he was just, like, deep in thought. And it was packed that day because there were so many people, paying their respects. And The Rock, because he was so deep in thought about his wrestling career, he goes, man, he just said out loud, he didn't even realize he said it. He goes, man, I missed 9/11. And everyone's like, what? He's like, I miss wrestling. I miss wrestling. 2001 was a good wrestling year for me. And then that's what got him to go to SmackDown. I'm reading this off of PWI right now. So.
And then Benoit's music hit. Yeah.
It was a rib.
Yeah, that's cool that I guess Kurt #1 because I ended up watching his documentary, so I had him on my mind, I guess.
Oh, how was it? Did you watch the Cody doc? I want you to compare them.
We talked about the Cody doc, yeah. Wait, is there another Cody documentary?
No, I don't think so.
One that was on Peacock, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the Cody doc was good, but it went on too long. I feel like the Kurt Angle one was better. They were both really good, but the Kurt one was, it explained a lot of his, his family stuff in the beginning, all the wrestling stuff, him going up. Foxcatcher, obviously. He was a bit a part of that. And
with Channing Tatum and Steve Carell.
Yeah, the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
They were actors though. That wasn't like they weren't really there.
Right, but they were in the movie Foxcatcher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, apparently that day when everything happened, when the dude shot, what was it?
Channing Tatum.
Yeah. Tatum played the guy Schultz, the wrestler, right? And then Carell played the trainer. right?
Yeah.
Shot him.
And I guess
right?
I guess that's the story, is that the trainer shot the wrestler.
Yeah.
Because of, I don't know. You got to watch the movie to find out.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's like, I'm coming down for like, I'm going to train down there today or whatever. And they didn't pick up. And then they called back right away. And we're like, yeah, shit hit the fan down here.
Jeez.
So he was about to be down there.
Well, and he was like he was one of the favorites as well of Steve Carell.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
but
this.
then I went through all the medal stuff, all the Olympic stuff, which is pretty cool.
Now, in the Cody doc,
Very detailed about. He's like, oh, I went for the shoot leg, and then he grabbed this, and the guy was wrenching my neck because he knew my neck was broken, and this, that, and the third. So
that sounds cool. The way
accurate.
you're describing it is making me want to watch it. Actually,
oh, it's definitely cool. They go to like every.
Do they touch on his TNA and Impact days and all that stuff?
I don't think so. No, they kind of like breezed over the whole. Oh wait, I didn't finish the documentary. Maybe they do. Well, no, I it was only like 5 minutes, 10 minutes left, and then I got busy. I watched it like 2 days ago. Maybe I'll just finish it up tonight. But like Jim Ross was on it. Jim Ross, Rock, Austin, like a lot of big names on this on the Talking Heads.
Did now in the Cody documentary, in order to intertwine the different chapters of his life that they were telling in this doc, they had him walk through a desert in a soundstage, and he had his full gear on and his Homelander coat, and he was picking up icons of his past and dramatically dusting them off. So my question to you, Joe, is did they have anything like that with Kurt Angle? Was he like sailing at sea?
No.
Oh, man.
He was just sitting in a room.
Boring. I was hoping that he would like progress through the jungle, and like find wares of his life, like find his gold medals hanging on some vines and then tell that story,
Yeah.
And he's got to get out of the jungle of his own thoughts, Like,
I think that's just to like a way they promote Cody because they're still promoting a kayfabe storyline.
Oh, so you have to be an active wrestler to get the pomp and circumstance of like the, what do you call it? Like the narrator. Was there a narrator? Did he have a?
No, it was him pretty much narrating it, being interviewed and narrated. Yeah.
So they just threw this thing together. They didn't give it the pomp and circumstance of the Cody.
I don't know was this a WWE documentary or was this?
Well, it was on the Peacock, I think, and WWE was promoting it. Ba 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 ba.
But yeah, I definitely recommend it for any fan of him because he was a legend. Apparently he's having some health issues now. I mean, he's always had health issues, but
apparently he can't move. He fractured his skeleton.
What his I thought it was he's already getting dementia.
Oh, wow, maybe. I mean, I could have told you that when he was dressing up like the third Shield member. I mean, that run of him just as the meme general manager, he seemed a little off, He seemed a little strange.
He seemed like out of it, yeah. He was just hey, I'm here. Oh, wait, I'm in the ring?
Well, the famous meme of Triple H punching him and him going like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that was all in that run. That was like a crazy run for him. He's doing a pod. He's got a pod with Conrad.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Erica just said.
Out. I need to get back to other podcasts besides Cornette.
Yeah, I haven't even been on that Cornette tip. I've been deep in my fantasy football focus.
Yeah, you gotta learn to balance it. I just like to put it on and like sleep to it and like osmosis,
Well, that's another problem too, is that I hate to admit it, Joe, and I don't want you to look down on me, but I am a podcast gamer where
put it on in the background.
Yeah, and I will
it depends on the game.
Right, well that's what I'm saying, but for most of the games I've already like seen it or done it, or it's like a tactical. It's more of like a, you don't really need the sound. But now I'm on Baldur's Gate, and Baldur's Gate's like its own thing that you're watching.
Yeah.
It's
like
like
I wouldn't do it for Subnautica, even though there is a lot of like dead air. You kind of, it's a whole immersive experience,
Yeah. Well, I would do it for a game like that, Subnautica. I would play like my first time with it. I would smoke a little joint and lights off, completely immersed, and then after like my first 10 or 15 hours, I would go podcast with it.
Yeah.
But with with Baldur's Gate, it's just everything is like an interesting thing, so it's not a good podcast game for sure.
Yeah, some are. I mean, I'm trying to think what games I used to play as a podcast. Well, obviously, like when I used to speed run on Twitch, I'd have that on in the back.
Any kind of sports game, anything with commentary, you can instantly just shut that right the hell off and go right to podcasting from day one, like out of the box. Madden podcast game every year.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Talking about a podcast game. Now, will you podcast Diablo?
Yeah, because it's a lot of mindless grinding in it.
No,
definitely. I would nuke the sound on that and put like Twitch or like Bullies versus the World or like whatever on on the other monitor, and then but I've been, like I said, I've been taking a break from it. There's a lot of mindless grinding and stuff, so I need a little break. I might take a break till October and then trying to finish out the seasonal content in the last 2 weeks and just kind of like roll into the next season.
Well, that's right. You got to get your daily challenges done.
It's not dailies. It's just the seasonal challenge.
Seasonal.
Like all the seasonal cosmetics. Because I did buy the battle pass, so.
We got to do it. In Baldur's Gate, there's a little message right when you open it.
Yeah.
And it basically like shits on extra content. It's a little obnoxious, but hey, what can you do?
Yeah.
The thing that's great about it, and I'll say this just about finish up the first half. The thing that I love the most about it is that, I only play. Like, I'm not a big D&D guy. I'm like like when I think about conversation checks, I think about like Mass Effect, right? But in Mass Effect, if you fail a check, you just go, leave, play the whole game until you're like level 50 of whatever you need, come back, do the check, get the weapon. But in this, you fail the check, it's like Sword in the Stone. Pull the sword out of the stone. Strength check. You failed it. Sword broke. Sword's gone now. Yeah, which is like dope. I really like that. It's like, oh, here, it's a big ogre and like a funny situation, like, make fun of them. Fail the check. Then you have to fight this huge thing.
Fail the check?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, fuck. Okay, damn. So like, that's the one thing that's been really, like, eye-opening to me is, like, that's what's giving me, like, the endorphin drip and, like, the first time feels. Like, that first time playing a game where it's like, oh, fuck, okay, so the shit I do, they're not just saying it matters. The shit I do actually does matter, So it's one of the guys in my camp turned out to be a vampire. So I was like, all right, well, stake through the heart, strength check, failed it, got him in the stomach, and he like ran away to like now be my mortal enemy for the rest of the game. And it's like, oh, that's pretty dope. Like, because he could have just been my friend the whole time. So now he's like, now he's skulking in the darkness. Anyway.
Yeah. You know who else is my mortal enemy? Tony Khan.
And why is that?
Because I watch AEW. I'm forced to watch AEW every week. That's why. Have you watched AEW at any time this week?
At any time this week, the answer is no. Wait, do you want to get right into it, or do you need to take 5?
Fuck that. We'll go right there.
All right, let's do it. What have I seen of AEW? I saw that Roderick Strong and the next brace is getting over more and more, but I don't think he won his match. I think he got murdered in his match and got carted off. Anyway, take it away, Joe.
So Dynamite was somewhere in my notes. I think they were in, I don't know where they were, somewhere in the Midwest. They opened the show up with Moxley versus Big Bill. My first question is, when did they change? Wasn't Big Bill's name or Big Cass or whatever W Morrissey or some shit?
I think he was W. Morrissey in Impact, and they changed him to Big Bill when he came on over.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. So yeah, another one of these. The series of matches of Moxley building prestige to the not intercontinental, international title, whatever.
Oh, so he just took over what Orange was doing.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like they could have just had Orange Cassidy do that.
Right.
But instead they wanted someone more serious to do it when you could have just made Orange Cassidy more serious, which is like what they're doing now.
Right, which is what they're doing now anyway.
Maybe what their end game is to just build up Cassidy as a serious guy and get the belt back from Moxley.
He gets his sweet redemption from Mox.
Yeah, because that's TK's booking. He likes to like hot potato these belts, and it's all like for the big pop. I love the big pop. He thinks it's about long-term storytelling. He thinks it's like poetry, but it's not. He's just like, oh, chasing the big pop. And he says it too. You could tell in the scrums, like, oh, it's gonna be a big pop. It's gonna be a big pop. He just does it for the GIF, the tweets, right. Retweets.
But I mean, I guess I could see Orange Cassidy winning it back and getting like the "you deserve it."
It's not booked for Grand Slam, which is this week. It's probably gonna be on that Wrestle Dream show.
Wrestle Dream is a real thing. It's not a dream. It's a real solid thing, and it's happening soon.
It's gonna be the same weekend as No Mercy.
And WWF. What is this now? Wrestle Dream? It's like is it like a joint promotion thing?
I think it's New Japan too. I think there's gonna be New Japan guys on it. It's probably easier to get them over there.
Because it's in Seattle, right?
Correct. Yeah. I don't think it's like as big as Forbidden Door, but there will be some New Japan guys on it.
Okay. All right. So Moxley beats Big Bill. Is this the meme that I saw of Big Bill like licking the blood and doing like a sexy dance?
Like in the match. I don't know if he was like trying to heal it up, but he was acting really goofy and silly and like slap happy in the match. And I guess that was this guy's way of playing heel.
He was being sexy and sexual. He
was doing like weird shit, dude. Like dancing and hand gestures and shit.
Yeah, we'll add him to the AEW Dancing Hall of Fame. You got Prince Nana. You got Adam Cole with the thrusting. You got Big Bill. Samoa Joe even gives it a little bit of this sometimes, Of course, Aubrey Edwards constantly suffering from disco fever. A lot of dancing in AEW. There's a lot of friendship bonds being forged and broken and making up and falling out happening. And there's also a lot of dancing.
You know what there also is a lot of? Renee Moxley good. I thought this show was going to break her personal best of segments, but it looks like she fell. She didn't hit the over. She was under.
Should we start handicapping the Renee? What's her actual name? I can't say anything other
Renee
than
Paquette.
Renee Paquette. Should we do over and under?
I think it's like 4.5 or 5.5.
I would say 4.5 to 5 is a good over under number.
That's what she hit tonight. She had 5 segments tonight.
Jesus Christ.
But her personal best is 6.
Well, and the funny thing is that they still use other backstage people. Like, it's not like Renee has 5 and there were 5 on the show. Like, Renee has 5 out of the 8. And then, like, the other girl does the other 3, or Tony Schiavone's doing something.
And then they got the other goofball, too. Remember, they used the guy with the glasses.
Oh,
hey, elite. Like that, the older dude. Like, he's a goof.
Jim Marquez? Marquette?
Is that his name?
Something, I don't know. Yeah, he's an idiot, too.
So, Renee's segment, I ignored it. Don Callis and the alpha shit. So it's Take a Shit and Don Callis revealing who their next target is with the painting.
Nice. I
And,
love that they're leaning into the painting.
Painting, it's like AI generated painting again.
No, it's like whatever Conrad Thompson. It's like, what's the thing where it's like, hey, did your grandma die and you never got a picture with her? Well, this it's like True Life Painting Service. Send us some photos and we'll do a real oil painting of you and grandma. It's like a fucking podcast thing. It's like Manscaped.
Yeah, it's like one of the promos, the promotion,
Yeah.
like Blue Chew.
Yeah,
Like
Manscaped.
Manscaped. Chew.
It's like still life painting or something. It's something like
Waddy Potty. Yeah.
So what did the painting reveal? I'm dying to know now.
They're saying from now on, Take a Shit needs to be called the Alpha because he beat Omega.
Right, alpha shit.
Not that Alpha that Chris Jericho tried to do a few months ago, the real Alpha.
Another different new idea of the same thing.
They had streamers explode from the top, and the streamers like got caught in like Take a Shit's hair and like the ring and just the painting and just looked like shit. And then they revealed the painting, and it was them stabbing Kota Ibushi in the head or stabbing him with a sword or no, I think they had him on his knees and they were standing over him, and then Callis took the screwdriver and stabbed the painting.
Right.
In Kota Ibushi's head in the painting.
Wow, that sounds reprehensible.
And then that was it. The music hit. It's just like, boo.
So we're setting up Alpha Shit and Kota Ibushi then.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be another Omega match down the way.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Don Callis running around like an unfiltered jackal.
Imagine Take a Shit and Kota Ibushi, though. That should be a good match.
Yeah, no, that'll be great.
The fuck of each other. BCC and Phoenix backstage. They're just arguing about something. I think they booked a match for Grand Slam. I think it's going to be like, oh no, I think it's going to be Danielson and Claudio versus, no, I don't know. Some match was booked. I don't know.
So some
it's going to be
match
Phoenix, Moxley and Phoenix at Grand Slam, and then Danielson and Claudio versus somebody. I don't know. On Rampage this week or some shit, or on Collision. That's what it is. Another Renee segment, this time at Orange Cassidy and Hook. Whatever. Tony Storm versus Sheeta versus Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose.
Tits out. Watch out for shoes.
It looks great. She was very open. Yeah, the crowd pop for her.
And she's no longer friends with them, or is it like an uneasy friendship?
No, so what happened was, Tony wins. That was to face Paige or Saraya, and they had the next segment, third segment with Renee, with Cringe 1 and Cringe 2. I call Ruby and Saraya. And they were like, yeah, she went crazy. They're just calling her Tony, like telling Tony, like, oh, she went crazy.
Right.
We're not with her anymore. This is something they're doing on the shows now, where like they'll have like a faction. Tony Khan's all about forming factions, right? These big factions. And then when he's done with the idea, it just goes like this. It just like it just washes away. It just like kind of just like drizzling shits away. It doesn't, there's no blow off, there's no program, there's nothing like, there's no like juice to like get rid of this faction like normal fucking wrestling, Like it's just like, oh yeah, she's not with us, like the JAS, like, oh, we're not with them anymore. Like they just have nothing. And they're just like, oh yeah, we're not with them. Former members of JAS.
Speaking of JAS, I did see a big flyer promotional piece of material touting that we would hear from Le Sex Gods.
I think that was the next segment.
Oh, well, perfect timing.
Le Sex Gods promo. This has no heat. I said Jericho taking credit for finding Sammy.
Oh boy.
He said that he watched the NWA 700th anniversary show, whatever the hell it was.
Right, 700 years.
I called up Tony Khan. And told him, I want this guy in our new promotion. Come on, man. And he probably actually does really believe that, like, not kayfabe.
And
Yeah,
so this is just, I'm assuming, another crack in the foundation leading to Sammy versus Jericho.
well, no, so now they've booked it for Grand Slam. So Jericho versus Sammy on Grand Slam.
Oh, it's happening.
But it's just like there's no heat. It's just like, oh, let the best man win. Yeah, and the crowd's just like, whatever. Like,
So there's been no betrayal, no intrigue, just a gentleman's
heat.
fight.
Again, this is another thing. At least Cole and MJF had some sort of like, little spark with Roddy in them, and Cole kind of like maybe super kicking him, and MJF is always like a dick anyway. So at least there was a little bit of juice there. But this is like, Sammy can't, Sammy's always in his shadow. Jericho's always sucking the charisma out of the room.
Yeah.
Jericho's got to go, dude. Jericho needs like a good 6 to 8 months off.
Yeah, he got skewered with hair extensions. It's right here. It looks like it. It looks exactly like what happened.
I said first hour sucks. Usually the first hour of Dynamite's like decent to like goodish, and it's the second hour that sucks. Now the first hour is completely bad. Fourth Renee appearance. She literally just stands there. Why? So it was an MJF promo. It was MJF and Adam Cole backstage. I guess like MJF was being looked at by, I don't know if this was like taped last week or something. And Renee is just there, like looking at the camera. Like MJF is doing a whole Steiner Math promo.
Right, I saw this.
Did the Steiner Math promo, and he's like, look, and she just keeps like kind of doing this, looking at them, and then doesn't have a mic in his hand. She's kind of leaning up against like the medical bed or whatever, and then why is she there, man?
She's a reporter. She's getting the stories.
Adam Page versus Brian Cage. Long-term storytelling. Because Brian Cage and Adam Page had a match during like COVID. And then they also were on like the first show back with people after COVID.
What?
Highlight of segment, Nana goes into a trance because they hit Shane. So like halfway through the match, they hit Shane Strickland's music. And all of a sudden, Nana goes into a trance ringside and just starts dancing, doing the thing. And then they stop the music, and he goes, like he comes out of it. He sells it like he's like in this. It's pretty funny.
God, yo, he is. He's killing it right now. I see that he's constantly sharing TikToks and Instagram videos of fans doing his dance now.
Yeah, they're getting it over. They're getting it pretty over.
And
they love to get over the stupidest shit. Though.
You said
but it's
right
fine
here.
Because it's Nana, and like we all have a history with him, so it's like that's fine. He's due. He's due.
I totally agree. He's due. We all love him.
Celebrated my 21st birthday with this fucking guy at like a bar in Chicago after a Ring of Honor show.
Yes.
Like he was buying drinks for my 21st birthday. It was funny. Well, I mean, all the guys like Roddy and all of them were there. It was a hangout spot next to the Frontier Field House where they used to run the Chicago shows.
Hey, and Prince Nana buying a young Jedi Joe drinks.
That was when I had long hair.
Prince Nana was always very, very supportive to me whenever I would see him at Outlaw Wrestling.
It was always funny when he would break kayfabe and not do the accent though.
Right. When he'd be like, "Hey, you should come over and get to work." I'm like, "All right, cool. Yeah, pass my fucking contact info along. Yeah, I'll be ready for the phone to ring." Yeah. But it's very nice of him.
This was where?
Oh, at Outlaw, he's like, "Oh, you should come to AEW." I was like, "No, I'm okay." Thank you for making me feel good here. You could be in on this rotation, this blunt rotation here. You don't have to tell me that, buddy. But he was always very loving and supportive, so I love him. But
I mean, they would hire you, but like you would have to you'd be like an extra hand and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I would definitely be an extra hand. So
like Sky Blues hat and their garments from ringside and stuff like that, and walking those back. And stuff.
I could grab some garments.
You know how they'll throw all the clothes and whatever their entrance gear and stuff is,
mm-hmm.
and then that guy will bring it to you, and then you bring it from the barricade to the back.
Well, no, what I would do is I would put it all on, and then walk it back.
I would just fucking steal it and sell it for like a shit ton of money on eBay.
Anyway,
Like-
what I'm
like-
trying to
Like wait for like an MJF coat and then just like dip and then sell it for like 10 grand on eBay.
it's perfect.
More than they'll ever pay me.
Perfect crime. The reason what I was trying to get at is that you said right here on this show that you were going to listen to more 83 Weeks because Eric Bischoff completely buried Jungle Boy, and we both thought it was so entertaining and hilarious that you were like, I'm going to listen to more 83 Weeks. Well, guess what, Joe? On 83 Weeks this past week, Eric Bischoff did the Prince Nana dance.
Oh, did he?
Yes,
Wow.
I've seen a
All right,
clip.
not gonna watch. Yeah. Yeah, Bischoff's fun, man.
He loves the Prince
Um,
Nana. Prince Nana.
Prince Nut. Oh, he calls him Nana.
No, I don't know.
Renee for a 5th time. Not sure what you did there. Former JAS versus Darby and Nick Wayne. I think it was the two goofs. It was all of them too, like Jack Swagger and a JASS and all them like were out there.
So they
And, like,
are
they
still
have no
friends.
Yeah, but there's no purpose. Like it's crazy. Like Jericho just like kicked him aside and then that was it. But didn't kick him aside. He was kind of just like,
They kicked
I'm
him
gonna
aside.
join. Well, he was like, yeah, it was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna go with them. Oh, okay, screw you. Okay, I'm not going with them. What a mess. Christian saves the show with talking about Nick Wayne's mom.
Yes.
Have you seen this?
No, I have not.
I don't know what he said. I can't remember what he said. I should have wrote down what he said, but I was busting out laughing. He's like, your mom on your Instagram needs to start posting more bikini pictures. I left her a little memento in her direct message or something like that. Like he was cracking me up. He was so funny.
Turtleneck Christian.
You could just tell like you're such a different tier to him as a worker compared to everybody else on the AEW roster.
Yeah.
Because he spent time in the E,
Well, and being great in the E too, like legendary.
yeah,
career.
being great in the E on top of that, but just like, what's he been working for like 20 years?
Yeah.
Still, like it's just like the clear line of someone who's still in like their prime and has a lot of experience, opposed to like having a lot of experience and being too old, like Sting. Even though he's stepped up and has been entertaining, Christian is like, Sting doesn't do a lot of promos. You know what I mean? Where some
Right.
Christian can work and do promos and do like engaging storylines, like this whole weird belt angle.
Well, and he reinvented himself, because Sting is still just Sting. Jeff Jarrett is still just Jeff Jarrett, but Christian, even more than the Edge comeback, even more than most that I can think of right now in his age range. I mean, I guess unless you want to say the Jericho Painmaker stuff, like, at a later stage in the career, completely breathing new life and new energy, into what you're doing and having like a whole new character. Yeah, it's fucking Turtleneck Christian, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Multi-layered, awesome, whole new second life.
Hopefully Edge shows up soon.
Ooh, that's what they're saying.
I've been saying it. What are they gonna wait? When's he gonna show up now? Or
What do
apparently
you
he was
think?
taken off the roster.
Right, he was taken off the roster page. Well, they had to get that done before they fired all the people who update the website. They're
Yeah.
just gonna have AI update the website.
Yeah, about
now.
to say they're replaced by bots now.
What do you think is going to happen first? Edge showing up to AEW or Jade Cargill showing up to WWE?
Probably Edge if that is going to happen. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess so, right?
I mean, if he's really signed or whatever, I mean, maybe at this Wrestle Dream show, or maybe if they want to make a big deal about it, and really stamp it like, oh, this is like a big show. I mean, it could end up waiting till. So, I mean, they're also saying Grand Slam next week. They want that show to be big too.
Right. And so the same
But
problem
they
they
had
had.
Saraya last year show up.
Right.
So maybe they can have someone show up this year.
Well, it's the same problem they had last month, which is that they have the two things happening back to back.
Well, that was my next point right here. It says they're already promoting Wrestle Dream. They have to promote two big shows at once. It doesn't feel right if they aren't for coked up Tony. He has to do so much at once. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's got to be like, like the meme of Charlie from Always Sunny, and
with the thing.
all, like, with all like the fucking math and shit from Pacific Rim,
Long-term storytelling.
all like all the blah, 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 like just so much has to go on at once, and none of it makes sense.
Right. And he thinks that the fact that like he's hitting us over the head with shows is good. Like, oh, we're there's so much content.
Bang.
Yeah, it's long-term storytelling.
But yeah, they're already starting to promote Wrestle Dream at the same time as they're doing Grand Slam. So I mean, they already booked Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Maybe that's what the show is. A dream match show.
Wrestle Dream. Yeah, that would make sense.
It occurred to me like just now. Yeah.
It
Maybe
came to him in a dream.
He comes running in with all like shit on his face.
He's got like papers.
Yeah, but it's like all like powder on his face.
Dad!
Dad! I
Listen.
need another 10 mil.
We just signed Edge. I need to buy Metalingus.
we got Kill Switch engaged. We need Metalingus now. Can they do that? Can they bring Edge in with his regular theme?
Huh. I don't know. Because Metalingus is not a WWE song. I think it's a Alter Bridge song. So you could, like, license, like, if you're a band, you could license a song to 2 different TV shows. So why wouldn't they be able to? Maybe they just couldn't do the, you think you know me, you think you know me, you think you know me. They,
yeah, I guess they could. That'd be fine because they did. What was I thinking of the other day that they,
well, Kill Switch.
It was Sandman, Kill Switch, but I remember some more random algorithm things on my phone. Sandman was talking to some like Mark podcast guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we tried to get Metallica to do we tried to buy Enter Sandman for One Night Stand, and Metallica wanted like whatever millions for it, like I don't know, fucking for one play they wanted like $500,000 or like 1 mil or something like that.
Well, and I think
$250,000 or something just to play it once, Well,
and you think about I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, but I think AEW did have Search and Destroy. They did have a Metallica song.
They had Seek and Destroy All In.
Yeah, and they had
Search and Destroy is the mode in Call of Duty.
Yeah, Search and Destroy. Also, they had Machine Head. All in, all out, all in, all out.
Really? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, because they're British as well.
Oh.
Breathe in, breathe out, all in, all out, breathe in. You see, that came to Tony Khan in a dream too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kicked down the treasurer's door.
Oh, Machine Head. Yeah, now I remember that song.
Yeah, that was like the whole pre-show dill.
Calvin Rosdale, right?
Got him, Gavin Rossdale, yes. Cheated on Gwen Stefani.
With who?
I don't know, some floozy.
With Cardi B.
The bassist of No Doubt and Gwen Stefani, they were an item. Right around 1994, Spring Break, MTV. Gavin Rossdale's playing, No Doubt's playing. The guy, the bassist, he's just at home watching it on TV, and he just clicks on MTV, looks at Gavin Rossdale, he goes, that's the guy. That's the guy that's going to fuck my girlfriend, Gwen Stefani. The guy knew. 6 months later, she writes Don't Speak. She runs off with Gavin Rossdale. Gavin Rossdale goes on to be in Constantine with Keanu Reeves. Machine Heads gets licensed to AEW. Boom. Gavin Rossdale cheats on Gwen Stefani. Now Gwen Stefani is dating Tug McGraw or Jim McGraw or whatever the hell the guy, Tim.
Apparently Travis Kelce is dating Taylor Swift.
And now Travis Kelce's dating Taylor Swift. And person in my fantasy league dropped DeAndre Swift after week 1. And I said, that's a terrible idea.
Oh, you should pick him up.
Well, I already have Jalen Hurts, so I didn't do it. I recommended for Bald Steve to pick him up. But because the waiver claims don't go through until Saturday, he had what? He had 180 yards and a touchdown, 3 catches. Yeah, that's just all wasted on the waiver wire. So that's how we got here.
That's bad. That's bad baseball.
Exactly.
Even though it's football.
All bad baseball.
So yeah, only match I think booked for Wrestle Dream is that, and then the rest is booked for Grand Slam because the main event was Roddy versus Joe. Joe is taking everything. Give me what I want. Joe did a promo like, you remember how Batista went crazy? He's like, give me what I want.
Give me what I want. Yeah.
Cena.
Yes.
Kind of did a promo like that at the end of the show where he choked out Adam Cole. So he's trying to like do the bro chachos or whatever the fuck their thing is.
What does he want? He wants an MJF title shot?
Now he has it because he beat Roddy.
Oh.
So it's going to be Roddy versus MJF versus Joe. I guess that's the main. On Grand Slam. Moxley versus Phoenix.
Nice.
That's the next Dynamite. That's this week. So what is I look these matches up. What's your status? Are you going to this? You live very close, don't you?
I mean, I guess I should. Tickets are like $5, yeah?
Yeah, you can definitely get it for cheap. I am officially out of that. It is my girlfriend's birthday this week on Wednesday.
That's right. You were going to bring her.
I don't want to torture her. I don't want to torture myself and her.
You know, I think that's probably the right decision, Joe.
I'm also taking her at 6 a.m. tomorrow to go a video game hunt at yard sales tomorrow morning, so I don't want to torture her twice.
Right.
I'll torture her enough.
All right.
But yeah, MJF versus Samoa Joe, Saraya versus Tony Storm, Jericho versus Sammy, Claudio versus Eddie Kingston, Moxley versus Ray, and Christian Cage and Luchasaurus versus Darby and Sting. So this is actually a pretty good card. But for me to drive like an hour and a half to New York and then 3 hours just to go from Brooklyn to Queens, it's not.
Yeah. Well, and I guess they're going to be doing.
I can't do that fucking. I can't do that rush hour traffic grind like that.
Not good. Are they doing? I guess they're going to be filming a Rampage as well.
Oh yeah, if you go, you'll be there from if you go to the whole show, you'll be there from. If the show starts at 8. You're probably gonna have Dark at 7, and then the Dynamite ends 10, and then they'll do Rampage till 11. So you'll be there 8, 9, 10, 11, at least 4 hours.
Hey,
if
for
not
$5,
if they can do a longer show. You'll be yawning more than tonight. Trust me.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with
No, because I think they went even longer with Rampage when they were there the first time when we went. It was, I think they went till 11:15, 11:30.
And from what I remember, I actually was yawning at that as well. I don't think
That's because you were in the stratosphere. That's why.
Yeah, we were in a different.
I ended up
level.
sneaking down after I left you. I snuck down to the 5th row with my buddies.
That's where that's the stinky section.
Oh, where the most purest of marks are.
Yeah, well, you could smell them.
No, the stinky section was. Someone said the stinky section was the upper level where we were.
What?
It was though. Not and then well, first of all, I sat next to someone that was reeked of 1000% BO.
Mm-hmm.
That it made me feel weak, like I got a headache instantly from it. So then I moved over to where you guys were in the last row. And then in that corridor where all the merch and bathroom was, it smells like they had never washed the bathroom in years of PGA or World US Open.
Well, that's what happens is that the US Open just finishes, and for all the people who work at that stadium, the US Open's the biggest thing. It's like their big Super Bowl, where all the stars come out and they're working really hard to provide the best customer service, and then a bunch of wrestling fans walk in for $5. They're like, oh yeah, this is when we all go on vacation,
Yeah, they're completely understaffed.
Yep.
They probably don't clean or maintain anything. They're like, oh, well, the fans are just gonna mess everything up, so they just leave everything toe up, and then they destroy it even more, and then they clean up.
Right.
And that's it for the season.
Yeah, for the year.
It's an open arena. It's already getting cold now, so it's it's gonna be a little chilly that day too. Who knows? So, but yeah, that's pretty much.
It's so weird how at the one pay-per-view they had 1 million multi-man matches and no balance, and then at the Grand Slam that you just described, it sounds like all one-on-one matches.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying a few weeks ago. I think they were putting more of their eggs in the Grand Slam basket. That's why I think maybe it might be more appropriate for Edge to show up at this show if they were doing that.
So Yo,
I don't know where on this show they would show up, but
I
he
would
would
be
show up.
so hyped for Edge versus Christian retirement match.
Well, they showed. I mean, you would think they would want to maybe. Well, I mean, Saraya didn't show up. No, she's not as big as Edge, but like, she showed up in the middle of the show during the women's segment. So I mean, maybe Christian Cage and Luchasaurus versus Darby and Sting. You know, maybe Christian's about the concerto and then Sting, and then it's like.
That would make sense because then you could save Sting and be super cool.
Yeah.
And then you could wear Sting.
And you put it on the middle of the show. You maybe start the show with Moxley and Phoenix, then do Jericho and Sammy, then do the women's match, and then probably, you know, the tag match with Darby and Sting in them, and have it in the middle of the show, and then have maybe the women's match after that, or a tag match, and then the main, you know.
On this day, I see clearly. Yeah, I would be into that. That's probably the only thing that would give me any juice about AEW right now is seeing a nice Christian Edge match. I think that'd be so fun because Christian's the best thing in AEW.
That's exactly what they need right now.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And after getting rid of CM Punk, they kind of need like the next big draw, and like that would definitely help. I understand Edge is like old, but it definitely would help a lot. What are the bullies doing for this? Are you actually all going, or?
You know, I don't know. I had plans to sell the T-shirts, but then I kind of just didn't care about that because the 20th is Grand Slam, and then the 23rd is Tournament of Death. So I
was about to ask you about that too. Are you guys all going to that?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe we're all piling in a van and we're going.
Okay. If you guys all go, I'll definitely go because obviously I live closer. So.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
I mean, I live in Philly. It's only like I used to go to that what was it, 100 Ebenezer Road, whatever the hell.
All right, Smyrna, Delaware.
I used to go to Tournament of Death. I went to a Tournament of Death before they were even at the farm. They were at some bar or something, and like Wife Beater was there. He wasn't on the show, but I forgot who was at that one.
He was just there with his wife Beater.
He was just hanging out. Yeah. This is like, you know, Zandig was there. Wife Beater was there. I think this was like 2006. Wow. 2005, 2006, 2007. And then there was a long gap. And then I started going every year.
Humble beginnings. Joe, you are being told to get in the van. The Edge and Christian show. Great show. What's up, John Richter? What's up, Prince Havoc? Good to see you guys.
I can go. I got my own ride. I go by the beat of my own drum, you know. So if I'm not liking it, I'll just leave, you know.
Smart. Well, ample parking day or night at the farm in Smyrna, Delaware.
Yeah, that's an easy, fun gig because, well, I've only done it in the middle of July.
Right. Me too.
So it might, yeah. So it's usually like the most sunburnt, the hottest fucking day.
Ah, the best.
You know?
Yeah, this is gonna be hoodie Tournament of Death hoodie season.
That's fine by me. It'll be probably very like fall cozy. I might. That's why I'm very interested.
Yeah, bring a blanket.
I might bring my girl. We'll see.
Well, if you bring your girl, then you definitely have
to deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah. Like, hey, yeah, forget about that tennis stadium. That place stunk. This is where the upstanding citizens hang out.
That or GCW War Games in Atlantic City in a few weeks. We'll see.
When's that? That's like mid-October.
Second weekend in October, something like that, I think. So.
Yeah. Tournament of soup. Tournament of pumpkin spice.
Tournament.
Yeah. Think about how beautiful the farm will be with all the leaves changing. You know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So. Oh, sure. They got to still cut all the corn and everything, you know?
Well, like, you watched the show. You know that DJ.
Oh, that's right. He was talking about, wait, so he doesn't have corn on their farm.
No, he clotheslines the stalks until they can't grow anymore. He lariats them. Yeah. It
was a good interview. DJ was a good interview.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was all right.
I definitely sat behind him at a Monday Night Raw like 20-something years ago. And like it was like a Raw in Philly or a Raw in like Newark or Jersey somewhere. And it was him. And I believe like if I was going to go out on a limb, say other students from CZW, And I'd be willing to say like Adam Cole might have been with them 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah,
you know?
he was sitting on DJ's lap. You couldn't miss him.
Like it was like DJ was like the biggest dude and like a bunch of like smaller kids with them.
I believe it. DJ
I mean, like
Hyde.
I ended up like moving or something like that later in the show, but like because I can never stay in my seats. But yeah, he was definitely there. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's all right. He's a good guy. I mean, he's always been very nice to me. Let me just run around like a banshee and never yelled at me or had a bad word to say to me. So I don't have
I think
a
you
bad...
guys also did it pretty well with all the round table and everything, asking him questions and stuff like that. You did pretty well.
Yeah. Well, the best part about those is that I just my camera's off, so I could just like yawn all I want. You know, it's like I'm a real radio host.
Yeah, but your sleep's all messed up this week, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, I haven't been doing good. Anyway, any final thoughts? We've been going 10 minutes later. I don't mind it's ending 10 minutes earlier. It's been kind of slow. You know, the headlines have been big and bright. You know, Jade Cargill, The Rock, WWE, UFC TKO, you know. But the drama hasn't been as palpable and plentiful as it has been these days.
I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about next week and the week after, because then we got to start previewing these 2 other shows. We'll have Grand Slam to talk about next week.
Right.
For gamer and gambling and football talk. And then we'll have to preview. Not next week is the preview?
Yeah, next week would be Grand Slam review, Wrestle Dream No Mercy preview.
Well, I think it's still 2 more weeks from them because they're the last weekend.
Oh, okay. So it's just
we're
Grand Slam.
pretty much going to be a light week besides whatever happens. I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about with Raw and Dynamite.
And MLB wildcard season. Boo Phillies.
Oh, wait. I got to check if I won my bet.
Now tell us about your bet.
Oh, it was just Trey to hit a home run.
Wow. Yeah, sometimes if I feel like flushing money, I'll just do Mets money.
4-3.
Did you get one?
I'm checking the stat line. 4-3. What is going on? 4-3. That means 4 runs.
Come on, Trey Turner, you son of a B.
No, he got a hit and a run so far.
Shoot.
Castellanos got a home run. He's looking like he's heating up again. He hits home run. He hits better. He was going cold at the top of the order, and now they moved him down, and he's doing better. Oh, he hit a home run, 3 RBIs. Oh, he must have hit a 3-run homer.
Stupid Phillies. I'm done with baseball, and I'm done with New York football, but the betting season's just heating up. Jalen Hurts.
New York football's dead. Honestly, New York sports are dead because Yankees are dead, Mets are dead, Giants are dead, but Jets may end up winning the Super Bowl for all I know.
Do you think that Zach Wilson is going to lead the Jets to the fucking Super Bowl?
I think if they continue to rig this shit, yeah, sure. Because the script might be already set for Aaron Rodgers with or without Aaron in it.
Oh, so the script was set for the Jets, but Aaron fucked it.
I mean, the script could also say that, like, it doesn't matter what Aaron does the first few weeks. And if he does whatever this is and gets, like, baby fetuses injected into his leg or some shit, then he might come back for the last few weeks or, you know, and clinch them in the playoffs and help them get that final boost. And it's like, oh, this Cinderella story, Aaron Rodgers,
Wow.
9/11 conspiracy.
9/11 denier.
9/11 denier ran out with the flag and then broke his fucking leg, and now he has babies in his leg healing him.
Yep.
Nano machines, and then punt return. Couldn't even pass the fucking ball like 6 fucking feet.
I'm a little bit worried about Garrett Wilson. I drafted him second for my team, but I can't even trade him. I can't even trade him for a bag of balls right now. So
I should have joined your fantasy. Did you have a spot this year?
We could have found one because we rolled with 10 this year, so we could have found you and somebody else.
Oh, you would have had to find somebody else to match the even.
Well, I mean,
Because
I
if
guess you don't
he's
really.
in it and he doesn't know what he's doing, I kind of know what I'm doing. So
Well, I'll tell you this: there is somebody in the league who knows what they're doing, even less than Bald Steve. Like Bald Steve, at least looks at the statistical analysis, so at least he knows to play the guys that have a higher projection. Whereas the this one person, they
just set everything and set it and forget it.
right. So they and I've been keeping an eye on them because they drafted second and I drafted third. So they kept picking up players that I wanted, So first picks or second pick before me, Travis Kelce, this person picked.
Oh.
And then Travis Kelce got hurt, but I noticed that they freaking left him in the lineup.
Yeah, they're not updating a lineup.
A bold strategy. And then you know what happened?
And they're first in the league still. Somehow.
No, well, and then what happened is, I guess because they felt so embarrassed of their under-managing of their team by leaving Kelce in, then they made a fatal rookie mistake, which is to then go and over-manage your team and dropped Swift because Swift...
Oh, that's the one who dropped Swift?
Then they dropped Swift, and I think they dropped Deontay Johnson. And it's this person sucks. And last year... They dropped somebody. They dropped Damian Pierce, who I picked up, and I rode all the way to the Super Bowl. Week 1, classic overreactions.
Yeah.
So I'll tinker. Leading up to the season, leading up to week 1, I was on the dirt sheets. I read all the fantasy football dirt sheets. Fantasy football top 500, everything, right? So I was doing a lot of tinkering before week 1, leading into. But I know enough that after week 1, if somebody puts up a donut, you could drop them, and it's a long season. You don't make any major decisions after week 1, no matter how much it hurts. No matter how much.
Make a lot of decisions after 4 weeks, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I usually tend to give it 4 weeks. See,
the thing is, with
this league too, because it's a 10-team league and not a 12 or 14, it's almost like there are good players on every team. There are good players on the waiver wire. So in this league, because there are more good players available, it's almost like you got to pick who's going to do good. You have a capability of winning every week on your roster, but you just got to worry about who's on the bench. Because in a 14 or 12 team league, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, these guys suck. They're never going to play. Here are my good players. But in this league, you have so many good players, you got to pick who's going to go off. So for instance, I have both Packers wide receivers, and it looks like the Packers are going to be able to throw the ball. Jordan Love, 3 touchdown passes against the Bears, but still. So it's now which wide receiver am I going to play? Whereas in another league, I wouldn't have the choice because I'd only have one of them, So
I think the only betting I'm going to do this weekend is I might look at college tomorrow, but probably not. And then I think I'm just going to take some over-unders this weekend, and that's really it. Because these 2 Eagles games and that Jets game and that first Sunday really stressed me out.
It made you sick.
And it really made me sick. Running around the house, smashing furniture, smashing glasses, smashing plates.
Wow. Yeah, so that's when your girlfriend took you aside and was like, Joe, I don't think we're going to be going to wrestling on my birthday. You just broke my good china.
So the 6-month season, I was like, we got to deal with 6 more months of this shit. It's only week 1.
Ah!
Just have plates there all the time. Just have them ready to go.
God damn. Hey, you know what? Jalen Hurts and the tush push. That's all you got to worry about is just,
touchdowns, yeah.
Yep, just push him into the thing. Just push him right in. He's not even playing that great, but they pushed his ass right to the end zone.
And that's the Jalen I'm used to. He's all those, quarterback sneaks, but they weren't getting into the red zone last week. So now they're getting, right to they were passing, running, doing all what they normally do. They kind of did still look like shit, but they're getting there.
2-0. It's all that matters. Oh, happy football, happy wrestling, happy video games, happy sports betting, happy plate smashing, and happy Grand Salami.
We'll be covering that next week. So at our regular time, right? Thursday at 8.
Same old Bullies time, same old Bullies channel. Thursday at 8. Ooh, the Thursday night game next week is Giants and 49ers. So I might have to go definitely. You know what? How
I'd
about
have to
this?
call out again.
How about this, Joe? I'm going Daniel Jones, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Oh,
Just like Jalen Hurts. I'm going to lock it in right now, dude. Daniel Jones.
I don't think the lines would be up that early, right?
Huge.
Or at least player props.
Yeah, you're right.
Player props might be up. Whatever.
Huge bounce back game for Daniel. They might still get killed. They might lose 40-14, but Daniel's getting in twice. That's my lock of the week.
Maybe we'll have some yard sale news and stuff from the weekend. Find some
Hey,
gems.
yeah, let's. You know what? You bring something from the yard sale that you buy.
Yeah.
Show and tell.
I'm swimming in tons of things I have at the yard.
Jedi Joe and tell.
All right, y'all.
All right, out of time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, so cursed, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.